you, man.
All right. So, I got some wagers here for you guys.
Okay.
You see if these will fit the white.
Man, we went duck hunting the other day.
We did.
What an adventure. We hopped into your canoe, paddled out in the dark, but you knew where you were going. You'd been here before, you knew the spot, and then you start laying out decoys.
Down here like we did, it's as simple as take a canoe off the top of the car, some decoys, 20, 30 decoys, and go out there and set up, maybe 30, 40 minutes and just get to hunting.
It was just an entirely different world from anything I've ever hunted before.
It is. Duck hunting is, versus other kinds of hunting in general, duck hunting's a pretty fast-paced hunting. It wasn't the morning we hunted, it was a little slow, but most mornings in the duck blind are really exciting, fast-paced.
They're on right here. We're gonna shoot these guys. Put one more in this one on the water. Nice. Good job, guys. Those are both stud drakes. Nice.
It actually really slowed down at midday. We had a ton of fog roll in. You couldn't see, 30 yards. It was like pretty intense fog.
I think it actually has got. I think it did just get foggier.
A really fun thing about duck hunting is, versus normal hunting, you don't have to be super quiet all the time. If you have birds working, obviously you want to kind of keep it on the hush, but when birds are, absent or you're not seeing a lot of birds, you can just kind of chat it up and have fun.
I'd love to see you hit that one.
I would have smoked him.
You would have smoked him?
Right in the eyeball.
Sure about that?
That's probably, in my opinion, one of the most fun, sort of hunting things that you can do.
Andrea told me it was like ADHD hunting because it's just very it's fast paced.
That's different, above. Those wood ducks again. I think if you're a duck, how disorienting that's got to be if you're flying high in the sky and it's just all fog. Shoot him! Fair game. He slowed down. He did not like
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bless.
Just duck hunting.
You'll be sitting there, and then in my case, one of you guys would hear something because your ears are tuned into that.
Right. Yeah. Oh, wood duck. You hear?
Yeah, I heard him.
You have seconds to react. Half the time, you guys would be shooting before I had even shouldered my shotgun because it's so fast.
Kill him.
I need a lot more practice. I honestly don't even have it shouldered by the time they're firing.
Duck hunting's not super easy. And duck's decoy is pretty easy, but
yeah, like mallards, when they come down, just put it on there.
Right. Because they're just coasting in.
yeah, passing ducks takes some time to figure out where you're supposed to shoot them.
Especially ringers.
I'm pretty sure I shot at one that was already shot. But it was like a split second.
No, that's always helpful.
So, obviously in all sorts of hunting, strategy is a big part of it, between figuring out where exactly the birds are moving, so their flight paths and how they're using, tree lines. Sometimes they'll fly tree lines or just certain areas they like to sit. So let's say you're picking a flight path in between a feeding area and a roosting hole. So you're trying to catch them in between, or you're trying to set up on, the X. Public land, it's obviously not private land, so you don't own it all, and you can't, sometimes choose exactly where you want to sit. Sometimes the birds actually use that against you. They'll go sit on somebody's private land or sit in private ponds or something like that, but you can intersect them. So the strategy part of it is a really big deal, figuring out scouting, putting a lot of time in figuring out where exactly those birds like to fly. So you're in a good flyway already, and you're kind of set up to where you have passing shots. You can also use a call, utilize a call like we did and try and call some birds in.
it is all strategy. And what was really cool is that I'm getting to watch all of it, and I don't even necessarily understand all of it, but I'm trying to pick up little pieces of it. But it was Adventurous Day for another reason, and I was hoping we could talk about it too, because we're hunting on public owned land, on county land, and it was a great spot. The thing is, when you're hunting on some of that public land that is bordered by neighborhoods, like this one was, you will get individuals who are not exactly pro hunting, certainly not of the ducks that I think they probably consider their pets, you know, and they may have a word or two for you, a choice word or two.
I just heard him, yeah.
The firearm on my property.
It's not your property, bro.
Bro.
It's a shame that people feel that way and feel the need to do that.
Yeah, and sometimes they do it intentionally, you know, like you were saying, interrupt when birds come in. Sometimes they'll do it intentionally when birds are coming in so you don't get shot.
Man, I was impressed with how calm you were able to deal with people who are trying to antagonize you, but I imagine that's not the first time you've dealt with that.
No. It's definitely not the first time. Sometimes, you know, the more you hunt an area, kind of, it doesn't get so bad. You know, there is a law written to where FWC, you're actually not allowed to disrupt hunters, you know, in their hunt. So if you do stuff like that, you can actually, you know, get in trouble for it, get a fine. So, you know, after they end up talking to FWC or sheriff or whatever, they realize it's legal. They realize there's nothing they can do, and they realize for them to be legal, they gotta keep their mouth shut and just, you know, let it play out because it's legal. So
Right.
Bro, you make the rules.
legal.
Yeah, but you're waking everybody up.
So they're sitting over there fuming all morning, upset all morning, and doing their best to call the cops. And so they did at some point call law enforcement, which you told them to. You invited them to.
That's just one of the kind of interesting things of hunting public land, and especially down in Florida, the way the duck, you know, kind of rules are set up down here. You're allowed to duck hunt on any public body of water accessible by a public boat ramp or publicly accessible, as long as you're not in a preserve and as long as your shot's not falling on private property, or I think they call it like dangerous, you know, so as long as you're shooting in a safe direction. Like when the cops came down, they talked to us just to make sure we were shooting in safe directions.
Yeah. The cops came down and chatted with you kind of across the waterway there, and you explained to them the direction we were shooting, and that, you know, these folks were kind of fabricating that we were shooting in their direction, certain things that we were being really careful not to do. And the cops said, okay. And they you know, took off.
Like there's a whole lot of people that don't really see what all goes on behind the scenes either. Like there's a whole lot of people that I probably would assume just think food just pops up on the shelf, you know, and they don't really see, you know, what all goes into it behind it, you know.
There's a huge bit of hypocrisy here, that like those folks who yelled at us for duck hunting, the thing is, like, we worked very hard to secure that meat. All of us were out there working hard. We took that home. All that meat was used, and was used well, and was appreciated. All of that meat lived a wild life. Nothing, you know, it wasn't factory farmed. But all those folks who are yelling at us because they're upset about this one thing don't recognize that night they're going to go get themselves a burger from McDonald's, and that's what they'll be eating. But somehow, because they didn't kill that themselves, they can feel better about it. Even though you know that animal is from a factory farm, it's got a terrible life, it's being fed absolute crap, and that's just okay with them for dinner.
I mean, if you just had, you know, people out there naturally, you know, if you cut all the stores off and all that sort of stuff, and people couldn't get their stuff or their, you know, their basic needs, everybody would be hunting. And all of a sudden, everybody would be a fan of the hunter on the block and enjoy, you know, that someone here can bring us food.
Right. I feel bad not helping, but the truth is I don't know what they're doing to clean up here, so stand by. I really appreciate that you had your shit together. You know, that because at the end there, we did get approached by a conservation officer as we were heading out, and they were checking on everything, all the gear, everything, really, you know, running you guys through the process. And you had all your shit together, which meant I had all my shit together. And it was just a matter of, yep, here's my license. Yep, here's the shotgun that you loaned me, and both check out, and you're good to go. That was great, man.
Yeah, that's one of the things that obviously experience comes, you know, hand in hand on that. You know, I've done a lot of the duck hunting stuff completely on my own. Like, my dad didn't get me into it, so I've had to do all, you know, the research and really figuring out what's legal, what's not. I take a lot of pride in that I've been able to do all that stuff, you know, and I've done it on my own.
you guys were super generous and gave me the lion's share of the ducks, which didn't make any sense to me because, of course, I didn't shoot, but maybe half of them, or half of one of them, I mean to say.
We go out, often, so we obviously get, kind of our pick of ducks over time. And so if you have a newcomer come along, to send them home with something that tastes not as good as the other ones is kind of, in my opinion, kind of lame. So I was like, take the best stuff, and it'll get you, kind of hooked more on it.
So we took 2 of those mallards whole. We breasted out the other 4.
Mm-hmm.
When I got them home, I actually also took the legs off of 2 of those 4. So we got breasts and legs off of 2 of them. But the mallards were kind of fun. We did those whole. We plucked them fully and broke them down. We decided for that first night, the thing we wanted to do was really get like the real duck experience. So, 'cause I don't think either of us had ever had duck, honestly.
Especially wild duck.
Yeah, especially wild duck. So we decided this is the first night, let's make it count. So we cut into the mallard and we took out those breasts and cooked those breasts up with the skin on them and everything, and made a little like an orange sauce in the pan, just the way you're supposed to do it. And man, it was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, you'd sent me pictures that looked really good.
Yeah.
I was like, man, and I've eaten a good bit of duck too, and I looked like, oh my goodness, like this guy's a chef.
Well, we do a lot of cooking. That's fair, but yeah, I mean, it just felt like, they deserved it. They deserved to be a good meal. We threw a duck on the Traeger back behind Chris there, and this was a duck we shot out in Florida on our recent duck hunting trip. We had 2 mallards that were just beautiful, big mallards that we decided to go ahead and pluck, and this is one of them. And I figured there's no better way to do it than let's smoke it up, let's get it right.
Ooh, that looks pretty good.
Hey, got a good cord.
That was amazing.
Thanks. Oh, he's gonna see. I wouldn't have sliced it with that interesting diagonal. I missed every shot I took at those ducks. I'm terrible with a shotgun.
Somebody hit a duck. This is good.
Yeah, Ben McCann, shout out.
Is that good?
Chew, hang on. Chew slowly.
Oh, did you get one?
Too slowly. I didn't chew slowly at all.
Ow!
Me neither.
Yeah, chew slowly. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There it is.
But I can't find it. Sick. Is it weird that I want to get one in mine?
I want to go.
I feel left out.
It is a totally different kind of experience, the waterfowl hunting.
Yes. Every duck is different. They all make different noises. They all have different actual, like their wing patterns are different in flights, all sorts of stuff. And then the more you're out there, it's something that it just comes with experience. The more you're out there, the more you hear it.
I could see getting hooked on it, and I could see, but I think I would have to go out a few more times for sure to even know what was going on, and that's the downside of my lifestyle, is that I'm sure I'll get to try all these types of hunting, but each type will take me a lot longer to become proficient at. Man, what an experience.